Hey there, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley live with you at 8 o'clock here on WFMI Plus. Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about the winter weather situation headed our way, which it's trending a little less wintry for more of us, and that snow potential is kind of decreasing around the I-40 corridor. We'll get into all the details that you need to know, really, over the next 15 or so minutes. So thanks for being here with us, and we'll get all the details out there that you need to know. A couple of things first, just kind of the main points. It's going to be a quick moving system. It's going to get here pretty early in the morning. Well, actually, just about 6 hours from now is when we could see it starting up. And it'll also move out of here fast as well, pretty much winding down by 9 to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it's a quick hit. It's an opportunity to get a little bit of snow mixing with some sleet that could make for some slippery road conditions. I do think some of those school delays and cancellations, always better to be safe than sorry with this stuff, or when it's around a commute. And that's kind of what we're looking at for tomorrow morning. And we'll dive into all the details now. But just want to make sure you are up to speed on what we're tracking. It is a weather impact alert day because it's snow. Right? We have a mixture of snow, some sleet as well, and a good amount of rain too. That's going to create some slick travel in the spots that see those snowflakes. We want you to allow some extra time. Good idea to just kind of plan on taking it slow. Just allow a little bit of that extra, not the day to be rushing out the house and having to get somewhere like super quickly. Allow a little bit of extra time. And certainly be staying up to speed on the weather. You know, turning on the morning show in the morning, we'll have some crews reporting, and they'll either be saying, hey, everything's good to go in Randleman and Greensboro's fine and these areas, or they'll say, well, actually, the roads are snow covered in Summerfield and you want to avoid that spot. Those will be good things for you to check out. It's always up to you to kind of seek out that information when you're making choices about doing stuff. So where is the system right now and how's it moving in? Right now we're seeing this across the southeast. There's a push of moisture. It's kind of moving across Tennessee and places like Alabama and Mississippi. There are two parts to it. There's a winter part and there's a non-winter part. Okay, so both of these things are happening. And I've been looking pretty carefully across Tennessee throughout this situation. Around the Nashville area, mostly been some rain, but they have had a little bit of snow on the north side of town over that way. And I think similar for, the Kentucky area, the Tri-Cities area of Tennessee as well. So anyway, that's kind of the system that is moving toward us. Nashville has been a mix of rain and snow. The roads look fine. So that's encouraging. If we get what they got, we'll be okay with just wet roads and not too many problems. That would be A-okay, but maybe not so fun if you're a snow lover. So that's where the system is right now. For us, going into tomorrow, we do have some alerts from the National Weather Service to pass along to you. These are called winter weather advisories. These winter weather advisories are here, and you can see across the Triad area, those purple shaded counties are a winter weather advisory. And something that we're keeping an eye on is that those are the spots that could have those slick roads tomorrow morning. So something that we'll watch pretty carefully will be in those areas to see if that snow is able to accumulate. But let's take a look at what the models are saying. I'll go with our model first. I can't say I agree completely with it, but it's always a good guide. So it has, even later on this evening, a little bit of precipitation moving in. So this will be around 1 in the morning here for your Friday. I'll just let you take a look at that to kind of see how it's moving our way. Early arrival means a couple of different things. Early arrival means a couple different things. It gets here earlier. That means the temperature is still a little bit warmer, which means it could start off as rainfall, which is not good news if you're a snow fan. It also means the fact that, we're seeing it get here a little bit earlier, it's going to get out of here faster as well. So it's all just a sped up timeline. Temperatures are dropping down through the 30s overnight tonight. So it's a catch up. That cold air is arriving overnight, but the moisture is arriving too. So if the moisture gets here first, you could get it wasted with some rainfall. Eventually, though, once you get toward 3, 4, and 5 a.m., there is potential for that to switch over to some snow and some sleet mix also. The problem is our model is actually getting a little bit dry toward tomorrow morning. That's not something that you'd want to see. So we're battling a couple things. We're battling the timing of the system and we're battling dry air. Those are both factors here. We don't have a lot of wiggle room to cash in on snowfall. Once you get past 9 and 10 o'clock, the bulk of this system it's out of our area. So you really have to have that moisture and cold air here at the same time, which is possible for a few hours around the morning commute. And I think that's the time frame that we'll watch most closely, is that morning commute time. So let's take a look at that in another way. So that's one model. Here's another one. Again, similar look here. This is later on this evening. It has maybe a few rain sprinkles toward midnight. I wouldn't think they'd be reaching the ground yet. But it too, a couple of things to point out. It's noticing that the warm air could be winning for a while. The pinkish shade means a mixture of snow and sleet. So this has about 3 and 4 a.m., a mixture of snow and sleet around the Triad area, sticking around through 6, 7 a.m., and 8. So this too would be pretty bad news for snow lovers. You would still have the opportunity for some slick travel around the area. And then going after 9 o'clock, the storm is basically over at that point. So looking pretty bleak, I would say, for snow lovers based on the current trends of the models. This is what we've been kind of advertising and talking about the last couple of days. Where are those lines setting up? We've moved the rain line, pretty much all rain, farther north, to include Lexington, even close to High Point, southern Guilford County, southern Alamance County, pretty much just all rain. A mixed bag of rain, sleet, and some snow across the Triad area, the 40 corridor, the 85 corridor. Farther north than that, the blue zone, that's where you'd have a better chance of maybe picking up mostly snow. We might even have to adjust that northward as well. But that kind of just goes to show you the differences place to place when we're talking about a system quite like this. So what's another way we can look at this? Let's show you the snow map, of course. And I'm kind of breaking this down into different categories. So obviously not going to have any snow in Randolph County. Davidson County, I wouldn't really expect any either. This white shade is only a trace, which basically just means flakes from the air, to a coating to a half an inch. Minimal. But if that were to stick to the roads, you would have issues from that. So there is still that threat of messy roads in Guilford, in Forsyth, in Alamance, even if you're not getting a pretty snowfall that sticks to everything. So there is still that concern, especially on the bridges. So let's keep an eye on that tomorrow morning. Farther to the north, which would include Reedsville and Caswell County and Rockingham County and Stokes County too, Surrey as well. About a half an inch, a little bit better chances for you to pick up on some stuff up here. So about a half an inch to an inch, maybe even as much as 2 inches is possible the farther north that you go. So those are areas that have a better chance of some snowfall. And of course, the North Carolina mountains, the Virginia mountains, they're in a darker shade here. About 2 inches would be possible in that area. So we'll be watching them over the nighttime hours to see how much they're able to get up in Boone and Blowing Rock and areas like that. Live look up there right now, doesn't seem like much of anything is falling just yet. We'll keep a look at it though, heading into the overnight time frame. So bottom line, maybe you're having a tough time getting some snow out of this thing, but there is still going to be a threat and a possible impact when it comes to travel. So that morning commute is the main thing that we will be looking for as an impact, especially considering around like 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. That 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. area is where you want to watch things most carefully. What about who and what about where? Well, places that would get no snow, obviously the spots in Rockingham and Davidson counties that we mentioned, not expecting any snow. Even High Point, I would say you're probably not in good shape either. Greensboro, Winston-Salem, it's going to be a nail biter to pick up even a trace to a half an inch. Summerfield, a little bit better chance to do that. Burlington, Graham, same boat. It'll be hard to get that snowfall just based on the factors that we've seen here with the northward trend, a little bit earlier arrival, a little bit more warmth. You're fighting that quite a bit. Half an inch to maybe as much as 2 inches though. Northern communities, parts of Rockingham, parts of Stokes, parts of Surrey, and up. It would include Danville and Martinsville, Virginia too. So those are areas that do have a chance of seeing some of those things. So kind of keep that in mind. Other things that we're following in the forecast, well, what else? We can time this out for you as we just did. We talked about the advisories. There's not really much of anything going on currently on the radar. Our current temperatures, though, this is another factor. Like we talked about, we have to cool things down we still have some decent warmth out there. So the temperature right now outside is still sitting at 9 o'clock in the mid-40s. So we have a little ways to go before that temperature can drop down to a cooler level. The dew point temperature, which is pretty key because when you have the dew point and it starts to rain outside, you're going to cool the air closer to that dew point. Right now, the dew point's still in the 20s, so we do have an opportunity to cool the air once we start to get that rainfall in here. Here's another look at the timing. Again, starting early in the morning, lingering through the early middle parts of the morning. And then for the afternoon, if you have anything planned out tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, it's not going to be a nice day. Not really. It'll be cloudy, maybe drizzly and miserable and cold. But it's also, you're fine. You can travel about the area. Just be cautious in the morning is the main message we could give to you now. Just to be cautious in the morning time frame. That's what I would suggest. Lots of things going on. We got the Festival of Lights in Greensboro. That should be okay tomorrow night. Christmas parade in Mebane is going on. That's on Friday night. That should be okay too. In Greensboro, there's the parade on Saturday. That should be all right. The weekend forecast is trending to be okay. Mostly cloudy for both Saturday and for Sunday. So overall, we're in pretty good shape here. I do think that things will be clearing out overall once we go into the weekend. Even if it's not pretty, it'll still be mostly cloudy and cool. Kind of seasonably cool. So that's your forecast. We're going to have more updates for you as we go throughout the system. Just be careful of a slippery and slick morning commute. Hey, if you're lucky, you'll see some snowflakes going on out there as well. Let's keep an eye on that. That's your 7-day forecast. We'll be back with more updates throughout the evening.